There's a huge sacrifice that people don't think about. You know, most people think, oh, I'm going to start a company, 2 months later it's going to be worth $1 billion, and I'm going to make a fortune. That is actually not what happens to 99% of people. 8 out of 10 fail. They have to do it 3 times. They spend a decade before they get their hit, or they work at one company for 15 years, and they finally get an exit. It's more like that, and the personal sacrifice is huge. There is no soccer game on Saturday. There's no Sunday dinner with the family. You're working because some guy in China or in India or some woman out there is kicking your ass, because we're in a global competition now. I don't care what your business is, men, women, you have to understand that you're going into a huge lifestyle change. And I tell people it's not for everybody. Don't do it if you don't have the stamina to get kicked around and driven into the ground and get up and do it again and beaten up by people that tell you, this is not kumbaya stuff, this is hardcore stuff. And I meet many entrepreneurs that are in tears saying, I can't go on, I haven't seen, you know, my significant other in 2 weeks. It happened to me in a class. End of a class, 9 at night, 600 people. There's a fellow up at the top puts up his hand and say, Mr. O'Leary, look, I have to ask you a question. I haven't said anything all class, but I'm really hurting. Can you help me? And I said, what's your problem? Class goes dead silent because it's not going to be about business. And he said, today, my fiance came to me and said that I have to make a decision between our relationship and the business. And I said, this guy had in his dorm room in undergrad engineering built an online cloud-based compliance tool for hedge funds with under 250 million to help them reduce their costs. It's a subscription service. The guy had a run rate of $5 million. He hadn't even graduated yet. I'm licking my chops at this business. This is fantastic. And then he said, but I have no time. And I never see my fiancée, and she wants me to come be with the family on Sundays, just once. But I'm doing my compliance downloads on Sundays, and I have to deal with my customers because I got to be back to class at 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday. Now the class is looking at me saying, okay, big guy, what's the answer? I said, everybody, let's be pragmatic. Which is easier to replace? Your business or your fiancé? And the shit hit the fan with that. But let me ask you something. Clearly that match was not right, because if you're going to get into a relationship with an entrepreneur, man or woman, it doesn't matter. You have to understand what drives them. It's not going to be a successful union. It's not going to work. I think he made the right decision.
It's interesting that he said because he had to get to class at 8 a.m. I'm thinking, if he already has built this business, why does he need to be in school?
Because he wanted to finish and get his ring. And engineers in their 4th year want the ring.
Okay.
They have worked like, they know what that's about. That puts you into a cult for the rest of your life. You don't leave without the ring. Like, that's not going to happen. Not in your 4th year. And I get it now because I work with a lot of engineers, but I remember that, and it stuck in my mind, and I think we really debated that about relationships and how important it is for your partner to understand the journey you're